All right, so there's an SD card in there. Okay, haven't had time to work on this thing the last few days. I've been hauling fertilizer home, and today I ended up going to Deer Country for filters. Filters, you know, filters for the 7530. Filters and fan motors. These are the fan motors. This one and this one are the fan motors for the air conditioner heater business. But I gotta tell you, you want to talk about expensive, this stuff. Okay, 7030 model. Alright, this one here, these are for the two blower motors. Two blower motors. This box has $1,000 into it. Teresa grabbed the receipt for the other parts. Holy smokes. But this one here, these blower motors, $287 a piece for those damn things. Without them, you don't have heat or air conditioning. I knew midsummer that there was a problem with one. It just didn't seem like it was blowing quite right. Like, it wasn't blowing quite right. It wasn't blowing hardly at all. It was like, ow, bitch. It's like, man, it's getting hot. Didn't need to do that. It's getting hot in here. What the heck is it getting hot in here? Of course, the sun's blaring down right through the glass. Anyway, Timothy complained about it. And, you know, such is life. So this December, when it was like 0 degrees after Christmas, Teresa was running this tractor. This guy, the 7530. And she was like, you know, I have no heat in this tractor. I was like, are you kidding me? She's like, no, I'm not kidding you. I'm freaking cold. I was like, well, all right. I knew there was an issue, but I didn't think that it was that big of an issue, because most of the time you start the tractor up, and if the fan motor doesn't come on, oops, if the fan motor didn't come on, then it was like, oh shoot, and you give it a few minutes and you shut the tractor off, turn it back on again, and you would have a fan motor. Well, I don't have a fan motor right now. I did have a small amount of air come through it that day that she was complaining about it, and I thought, well, that seems to me like one of those motors is spinning really slowly. Let's give it a little bit and we'll start it back up again, and maybe it'll just kick in and go. Well, unfortunately, it did not kick in and start to go. So I decided to make the executive decision to go ahead and purchase these parts, the blower motors and all, so that I could the blower motor, so that I can let me pull ahead just a little bit more there. Purchase the blower motors so that we could get it fixed. And she was like, look, if it gets cold again and I got a rake hay for you, I'm not doing it unless that thing is working. And I was like, yeah, okay, I agree. It really stinks when it's not working. So yeah, so that's the deal. That's what we're gonna do. Now, if you don't know where these blower motors are, I'm going to show you in a second. As soon as I get my door closed again. Get the doors closed. It doesn't need to be that tight there. Anyway, yeah. So I'm just talking here, you know, right? Just talking. And I will tell you, it's getting to the point now to maintain these tractors, and it doesn't matter whether it's Dear John or not. any of these tractors, the price to maintain these tractors is getting so high. It's not even funny. I mean, $1,000 in that box for filters in those 2 blower motors. Come on. That's insane. So the blower motors are directly under the seat. They're right here and underneath there. So I don't know. I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm going to do it tomorrow. But you just pop these bolts off, take the seat, throw it over out the back. You don't have to throw it all the way out the back. But you pick it up and you put it out the back. You pull all these bolts off here, these little flaps here, and get all that stuff out of there. Gonna clean the floor, and probably Teresa will come over. Hopefully she's feeling up to it. But tomorrow, just clean all this stuff out so that it's nice and fresh for when she goes to get in it again. Yeah. So that's where it is. Now the air filters, the exterior air filtration is here. Right there. Oh, can you believe that? That actually is that broke? No, that's not broke. Is it broke? It is broke. Oh, I'm gonna have to fix that. That's annoying. So, yeah, those need to be cleaned out and replaced. And I will do both of those. I have them. Just gonna shut that so the cats don't get in there. But yeah, so tomorrow's job will be the 7530 premiums, air filters, fuel filters, engine oil filters, cab fans, cab motors, whatever you want to call them, blower fan motors. I'm gonna see if I can get these. Let me take a picture of that. I'm going to see if I can get these cheaper elsewhere. I know that there's some other companies out there that... What the fuck? Went that way. That do sell them. See if I can get them for half price. I mean, I know what brand they are. Let's see. I think these are Italian made. Doja. I think maybe that, or so hold on a second. We'll just go ahead. The problem with these things, and they are delicate like glass. They're really not a tough housing. Oh, for the love of Jesus and all his disciples. Who makes this thing? Spal. S-P-A-L. Correggio Italia. So if I can find that company, I'll do it. If I can find that company, I'll do it. And I'm sure these are the same. Holy smokes. I'm sure they're the same. Let's see, can I get that thing to nope. Let's see. You see, is this it? There it is. See, now this is different. This is for the bottom of the what do you call it? That's for the it is for the 8120, but it's for the bottom where the exterior one is, and the 7530 doesn't have that. I knew that I had that. Yeah, so I have that one. I'll just have to take a look and see what different blower motors I do need. That 6210R has definitely got an issue going on, and that's going to have to be corrected. So, anyway, yeah, so you've heard me bitch and whine about the pricing of these things. There's just so much that goes into these tractors. I can tell you, if there's $1,000 in that box, you come over here and just look at all these filters. These are fuel filters. These are all John Deere filters. John Deere filters. There's a Motorcraft. Here's another John Deere filter. There's a bunch of John Deere filters. There's a bunch of John Deere filters. There's a bunch of John Deere filters. All these John Deere filters, there's thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of filters. There's more filters under here too. Under there, you can see them. Got lots of filters. And for some reason, I never seem to have all the right filters. Alright, so I've got the seat kind of suspended up there. I tore it kind of half-ass apart. John Deere could have done a little smarter job there. Oh, there's a hat. Could have done a smarter job and put an actual disconnect there. Some kind of a grape. But yeah, you got to take these things out of here. These are Bosch ones. They're different than these. These are Bosch, probably Germany. No, these are made in Brazil. This is Spal, S-P-A-L, and they're made in Italy. Not to be mean to the Italians, but I've never had much luck with things that are built in Italy. I hate to say it, I just don't have luck with things that are built in Italy. Manufactured parts like these, I don't know about equipment like Marlowe or whatever. I'm not going to be disrespectful to those guys, but yeah, you don't know. You just don't know. What the hell did I do with that? It's a 10 millimeter, I'm sure. And it's going to be one of those impossible to get into places. Both fans are shot. That is a 10 mil. Tim, give me a 10 mil wrench out of there. Just a ratcheting wrench. Ratcheting wrench would work, probably. 10 millimeter on that. So, I'm going to swear and cuss. Limited space in here, you know. And Timothy, the trash hound that he is, has filled this up with all sorts of stuff. 10 millimeter, and that's ½ inch. I said 10 millimeter. I have it on video if you would like me to replay it. 10 mil. Yeah, so there's not really much space in there. This one here is totally junk, and that one there would turn over. But I plugged this one in to see how it would do, and holy hell, did it move some air. It definitely moved some air. Yeah, it definitely moved some air. But yeah, we'll have that. We'll have it straightened out here pretty quickly. For real? It should say right on it. 10 mil. Okay. I should go buy some new ones of these. These are pretty well shot. Oh, really? Anyway, this is going to be fun. I'll get back to you when I get it out. Unless, of course, you want to hear me curse and swear, then I can just speed it up, right? Yeah, let's do this. That out of the way. No. Jesus, why is that 10 millimeter? It seems like it's not going to work. Oh my God. You know what's nice? They're not corroded. They're not corroded. The thing that I'm not happy about is I didn't get the damn gaskets. For some reason, they didn't give me the gaskets, so I'm going to have to cobble fuck these things together, which kind of annoys me. It's like one of those things. When you deal with parts guys, and I don't mind the parts guys down there, but when you deal with parts guys, you have to be so uber specific. And that's broke because somebody yanked on it. You have to be so specific on what you're buying, because if you don't, they don't give you the right shit. Oh man. And it's not them. Yeah, you get to look at the top of my bald head. And I don't really want to tear that off there. Oh my God. Tim, do you have a rigid one of these instead of this fucking floppy cock that won't lock? Well, then get me a regular 10 millimeter fucking wrench with a box end. I'm getting slightly annoyed. Fucking things. What happens when you have good wrenches and get used up and junk? Oh my God. You see these videos of these women posting, why should you date a mechanic, and they're in there with their fingers doing impossible things with nuts and bolts. I find that to be rather ridiculous. No sense wearing these gloves. Waste of time, ain't nothing dirty in here anyway. I just usually wear this for grease. Oh my God. And I'm gonna have to put this back in. Oh boy. Of course, these have been in here for how many years now? Yeah. These freaking hose. Now, the nice thing is, they're on slides. They slide. If you get them loose enough, they should slide right out of there. I don't think that Case IH, New Holland, whatever, is any different when it comes to these stupid fan motors being junk. I've heard people cuss about them in all languages and all colors. They just suck. And you know what else sucks about them is they're so expensive. Oh man, what the hell? Now wait a minute. No, they're slotted. Oh. So Bosch did it the backwards way, the fucking assholes. There ain't no slots on the back sides of this. Oh, you cunt. No. I should heat up the nut. The whole thing is plastic. The whole thing is plastic. So you gotta take all of them out. Oh man. Bold experience. Am I correct? I am correct. They didn't slot them. They're all idiots. This is $40 for this stuff, right? Flonase? I found it to be garbage. Absolute garbage. When I was in North Carolina, I was fighting the damn Delta virus, right? The COVID Delta virus. And what do you hear? You know, it's like, oh, Flonase, Flonase, Flonase. You gotta use Flonase. Okay, Flonase. Excellent. No, I don't think so. Flonase is garbage. So I'm shooting that Flonase up my nose, right? And it's like, oh yeah, don't use the fucking Afrin because it'll rot your brain, you know? It's like, okay. So I'm shooting Flonase up my nose like there's no fucking tomorrow, expecting a result. So I did this for like 2 or 3 days. I'm like, this stuff is garbage. It doesn't do shit. And then, I think it was Lewis, or maybe it was even Cody, comes along and says, oh yeah, no, you gotta do that for a few days before it starts to work. It's like a steroid and it has to build up in your body. I'm like, I might as well jerk off to fucking 1920s porn. That's about how good that is. It is useless. Useless. Welcome to the jungle. Oh, God. So $45 because everybody's telling me, oh yeah, shit works great, it works great, it works great. Yeah, it works great if you're already dead. I hope y'all are getting a kick out of that. Okay. Now, here's the other fucking stupid thing, right? It's gotta come out of there, right? But no, John Deere gives you enough room to just piss yourself off without destroying the fins and the stupid thing. So let's pick this whole system up, right? Maybe that'll come out now. Of course fucking not. Oh God, yeah, lay over the fins then. Yep, I was right. Only slots on one side, these assholes. Oh my God. So, yeah, no room. Me cussing and swearing, complaining. Yeah, I complain. Yep, I'm complaining. Oh, I'm only farmer. That's all he does is complain. That's right. You got it. That's all I do is complain. You fuck around with these things all the time and tell me how happy you are about it. Anyway, that is a very expensive little valve. If that ever goes bad on you, it cost me like $600, that fucking thing. It's ridiculous. We ended up forcing the old hose over top of that because they don't make the nozzles or the ends the same size. So you got this fucked up hose that you got to tilt the cab just to change the hose on. I was like, no, we're not doing that. Let's put the old hose on, we'll force it. That's what we did. Alright, so I've been fiddling around with this thing all day. Yes, all damn day. It's not easy to do. To get your hands down in there, next to near impossible. This wrench here is broken. It works, but it's like, it just doesn't want to work the way I want it to work, you know? So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to Tractor Supply. They sell gear wrench. I like gear wrench. I know there's a lot of guys, oh, they're cheap, we should buy the Snap-ons, you know? And when you deal with people like that, you know, strap-on tools are okay, but honestly, I honestly think that you can do a lot of work with so-called lesser quality tools and be very happy with them. I'm not saying that you should if you don't want to, but if you don't have the money to buy strap-on tools, don't go broke doing it. That's all I can say. And there's a lot of people that aren't that brilliant, and they'll just spend their entire paychecks, put their families in peril, just so they can say that they use Snap-on or Strap-on. I've never really understood that, to be quite honest with you. I never have. I go down to Napa and I buy a set of Carlisle tools, right? I think I've told this story before. I'm pretty sure I did. I bought some, they were Carlisles. No, they weren't. They were Central Pneumatic. Not Central, Chicago Pneumatic. I'm sure that's what they were. I can't remember now. It's been a while. But they were a quality tool. And they worked. They did their job. They did what I bought them for. But I was in the parking lot, and these two young kids, maybe 18 and 17, or 19 and 18, something like that. I'm like, why are you buying those junk tools? I got a full set of Snap-on tools. Like, you got a full set of I said, you got a full set of Snap-on tools at your age? What, your dad does? And he was just like, he wanted to dish out crap, but he couldn't. He didn't expect the Gen Xer or the Gen Xer to say, you're a fucking idiot. Your dad may own a full set, but you don't. I think that's what I said. I said your dad might own a full set, but I don't know anybody that owns a full set of Snap-on tools. You can't afford them. And his response was, you can't afford not to. when you make a living with your tools, you have to have the best. And I was like, yeah, well, I make a living with my tools, and I've got all different kinds of tools from all different manufacturers. They each have their own job, and you know, I'm happy with what I've got. I just love these little freaking fanboys when it comes to strap-on tools. They're just like, I mean, you can buy Craftsman tools, you can buy gear wrench tools, you can buy Carlisle tools. You know, if it puts a nut on and takes a nut off, puts a bolt on, makes a snap ring go yeah, in and out, or whatever the hell you want to do, if it does the job that it was intended to do, ladies and gentlemen, you have made a good purchase. It's like this little job right here. I've got a broken gear wrench. The reason I got a broken gear wrench isn't because it sat in a box and broke. It's because it was used. I don't know if Gear Wrench has a return policy for them or not. I can tell you right now, I'm hungry. I think I'm going to finish putting this thing in, and I'm going to go home and get something to eat. I don't know if they've got a return policy or not. They probably do. But, you know what? I'll just go buy another set because they're that good. I really like them. I don't know why people disrespect other tool manufacturers. Now, if it says China on it, I can pretty much guarantee you that I wouldn't buy. I'm not going to buy Chinese tools. I wouldn't encourage anybody to buy Chinese tools just because they are inferior. But if you're a homeowner and you're going to do one shot deal, you know, like, oh, I just got to change the doorknob on my sister's bedroom or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, go ahead and buy that Chinese tool. You'll be all right with that. Oh man, I cannot believe I'm actually gonna get that one in. So, yeah. Oh, and I got a little PSA, public service announcement. If you're running a John Deere tractor or any of these tractors with climate control, and they have these little funky valves, this little guy down here that controls the amount of water that goes through your heater core. In the middle of the summer, turn the heat on and off a couple of times, because what happens is you get scale in there and they seize up and it burns out the motors, and these things are very expensive. That's what happened to me. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I'm just gonna finish putting all this stuff in. I gotta go get a couple of wire ties or cable ties. I want to cable tie this thing up so they're not flopping around in there. Because when you have wiring harnesses that are flopping around, that's when they break. They just can't handle that. But before I do that, I'm actually going to go ahead and turn on the key. Let me shut that off. I'll turn on the key, and you hear things spool up, and I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I got fans. That's the defroster. So, yeah, he's working. He's working. Excellent. Make sure we have, wow, she's a little crazy there. This is the in your face stuff. Looks like it's working pretty good. And then you just turn those down or up. Alright, looks like a fix. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this light off, being I've got that done. I'm gonna go get some wiring harness, but I want to go eat something first. I'm hungry, and it's kind of late, so I'm gonna have to go see how William is, and I'll bring him back over here, and we'll finish putting this all back together again, and I'm gonna clean that mess that Timothy's got in there out. It's ridiculous. Okay, we're recording. Good. All right, so we've magically finished it up. Magically finished it up. Okay. 7530. I I know it didn't make Mucker's top list, you know, top dog on the list of things to have. Tractors, iconic, great tractors. But I'm going to tell you, this is a damn good tractor. They really are. Shoot. I got to fix this. My little damn armrest. So what I'm going to do is, I got to find my screw, but I'm going to mix up some JB Weld, and I'm going to reattach that thing, because that shit drives me nuts. These armrests, they're not cheap. This stupid thing is a lot of money, like 60 bucks for that stupid little armrest. So I'll take it out, and I'll JB Weld it back together again, and life will be good. I've got the hood up because I'm going to do a service on it, but I just want to prove that when I get it all done, I can turn it on. Yep. And it's working. And it's working. I got air. And it's quite a bit of air. Good. Now it's not really blowing a lot of air because my filters are pretty well plugged up. So what I'm going to do is right back here, there's there's filters, and I've got them in that box. But I don't know, it's dark outside, and Teresa's still not feeling well, so I'm thinking that I should probably just skive off home. I did get that job done, so if we do need to go to the field right away, we can easily do that. I forgot that I needed to get that new glass. I'll have to do that. Just one of those things, you know. Got to get the new glass. I think I can get that glass pretty easy. It shouldn't be hard. John Deere sells them all day, every day. 7 years of bad luck, but right. Okay. Here we go. So I was watching how farms work. I wanted to be, you know, I was pretty confident they bought that 4960, but they didn't. They bought a 7920, and you know what? That's good. They're good tractors. The only thing that I would say about that tractor is the 7920 has an 8.1 liter over 6.8 liter. It's a more torquey engine than the 6.8, but it does have its share of little issues. Issue one is the pistons will break right at the top, and then it'll split a liner. Not like it's that big of a deal. I personally would probably pull that engine apart and put a new liner kit in, new pistons and liners in it, just because it's a whole lot easier to do it now when there's not a problem, when you wait until you need it and there is a problem, and it's not that expensive to do if you do it yourself. If you don't do it yourself, then yeah, it might cost a few $1,000, but I don't know. That's just me. I've dealt with 8.1s in the 8120 and all, but yeah. So I had a lot of people tell me, hey, you know, you ought to turn that thing into a nurse tank. And you know, to be honest with you, I never even thought of that. This thing would make an awesome nurse tank. It's 750 gallons. We pulled the pump off of it. Tim pulled the pump off of it. I'm going to take it apart. I got a rebuild kit for it. I'll probably rebuild it and then have it on the shelf or something. But anyway, I'm going to go home. I've been working today pretty hard. My grandmother died today, my mother's mom. So a little bit not quite myself today because of that, but hey, 90 some odd years old. Anyway, have a good one.